Hello, welcome to day 18 of our 19 days of June. It is our penultimate day today, our second last day. And one thing in particular I want to bring into your practice more of, we really focused a little bit more on this yesterday, is this awareness of this being the foundation. Sometimes our brains can see something numbered like 1 to 19 and go, cool, after day 19 it ends. And while this particular live stream ends, it doesn't actually end the practice, and it doesn't end the resources that are available for you. I mean, the internet exists in bringing us the world's information and the world's misinformation. So, there are many different ways that you can continue practicing, but there's also many different ways that you can find practices, even here, even on my own YouTube channel, but even with your foundation here as well. That's really, really wanted to highlight is getting through day 1 to 19 can sometimes seem like it's positioned as a bit of a gym challenge, which I don't hate, but I really think it's important that we don't see it as something that we just stop doing, or that we have a need to have a rest from. Yes, you might have pushed through and done each of these 19 days more consistently than you ever have, but use that as your foundation. We don't need to, like, it doesn't need to be hard. That's the thing. It doesn't need to be hard. It's not a full gym workout. It's not a full hour out of your time plus travel to do this. This is literally 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes at most at a time. So how can you really allow this to be a foundation for you? So, we're going to continue with that practice of being aware of what thoughts pop up while we are practicing, because that is part of mindfulness. I say be aware of, not criticize, not judge, not um, have to do anything with. There's always a time and place to do something with, but in this case, it's really just practicing noticing what's happening, like literally what's happening. So just going to do a a really simple mindfulness practice, while I want you to not go seeking out thoughts, but just notice what does come up. um, Imagine that you are on a train station platform and you're watching the trains go past. They are the thoughts. They're going past. Every now and then you might find that you're suddenly on a train. You're like, oh, I got on this train. Whoops. Okay. That's okay. Just simply get off at the next platform, which is usually when you notice, you go, oh, here's a platform. Let me get off, and just start again. Just watching again. Just watching again. So, with that, safety first. Um, if you're driving or doing anything that requires your attention, especially for safety reasons, please pay attention to that first and foremost, more than not. And otherwise, maybe have a little bit of a wiggle. And if you are sitting down, maybe noticing the tilt of your pelvis. Is it quite tucked under, curved through the lower back? Or is it quite tilted forward, where you got more of that dip into the lower back, that arch? And just see if you can find just a middle ground, a balance, both forward and back, and also side to side between your sit bones if you are sitting. Otherwise, do the same with your feet or with your back if you're laying. And scanning through your body, noticing anywhere that might feel tight or compressed or contracted. And just notice. You don't need to do anything with it. Just be aware, acknowledge. And then scan through your body, noticing anywhere that might be soft or relaxed or open. Just notice again. And notice how these two seemingly opposing sensations can exist at once. Maybe removing your tongue from the roof of the mouth, creating a bit of space between your back teeth. Noticing your breath. You can alter it if you like, but really we're just noticing the natural depth of your breath, the natural length of your breath, and the natural pace of your breath. Just noticing what there is to notice. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Long breath out of your mouth. You guys, it gets to be that simple. We we sort of we let some of the little tricks, some of the little practices, and we added and layered onto them. And we're bringing it back to the basics just to remind you it can be any of these things. So notice without judgment as best you can. And that's going to be a practice in itself. Just notice maybe whether you had a busy train station of thoughts, right? Or if you had a common theme or thread running through the thoughts. Um, it can just be really informing of, oh, that's what my brain is wanting to pay attention to. And then the next logical thing is there something that I can do with that information or that attention just to acknowledge it in real life practice? Or is it just to acknowledge and go, yeah, cool, that's seems important. All right. So you choose and just keep practicing that. It's a really good practice that you don't have to stop to do once you do know that that's the common thread, but it is useful to check in each day at least so that you know what is actually up to date information too. So we will leave it there. I will see you tomorrow for our day 19 of 19. It's our very last day. So it will be a really special one and we'll just really set this foundation.